Sorry for party rocking.
All right, guys, so now on to the 7:30 games. And by the way, this podcast is brought to you by Mike's Hard Lemonade. When you've been drinking Coors Light from 8:30 in the morning and you want a little taste of refreshment, go with Mike's Hard Lemonade.
It's a real, it's like a brunch, beverage.
You know, man, when you got that bitter taste and you want a little bit of the sweet, I'm a man. I'll admit to drinking some Mike's Hard Lemonade. But first game for the 7:30s, we had Chicken Tetrazzini, the Angry Birds, coming off a tight loss against the Rumspringer, going against new Kickheads on the block. This one ended in a 4-0 win for the Angry Birds. Oh, there it is. That is service with a smile, man. I love that. Need to change that jersey color a little bit, though. I'm sick of that yellow. Reminds me of Kick-Ass. Most athletic team in the league. But first Nats when you need
Drink.
Yeah, drink. Most athletic team in the league, got drink.
So Chicken Tetrazzini 4, new Kickheads on the block 0. I talked to Amanda Hassel, and she, which is the captain of New Kickheads, and she said they played a lot better, made less mistakes, but progress is still ongoing. It was nice to see Chicken Tetrazzini. They got back in the win column, scoring some runs. So they broke out of their kind of offensive slump by putting 4 on the board.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, you got to look at the Angry Birds. A game that we thought was going to be kind of a beatdown. Rumspringer going into the Angry Birds. But they held us down, 1-0 through 4 innings, and then we put in a little insurance in the 5th. So it's good to see them progress on that, that loss. Even though it was a loss, it was a good showing by the Angry Birds, and really come out here and do a shutout against new Kickheads. That's exactly what you need in Week 4. So it's good to see what they're going to do in Week 5.
Yeah, I think their defense is really coming along too for the Angry Birds. So a couple of good showings over the last couple of weeks. So they're a team to watch.
Absolutely, absolutely. And going into the next 7:30 game, we had Moose Knuckles against Just Kicking It. And Just Kicking It's been a team that we've been talking about, putting up a whole lot of runs, being kind of inconsistent. Moose Knuckles coming in 2 seasons ago, really laying it down, took a season off. We had Moose Knuckles barely edging out Just Kicking It 1-0. Mm-hmm. That high-powered offense for Just Kicking It, shutout right there. So what does that say about, maybe Just Kicking It? It's still an inconsistent team, but what does that also say about Moose Knuckles for being able to stop that high-powered offense?
Moose Knuckles actually did pretty good in this game. They were missing a couple of their key players. I know their Charger / pitcher Brian Turcotte was out this week, and they're probably going to ebb and flow. He's another firefighter in the league, which is a very respectable profession. Definitely an honorable profession.
Firefighters, man. I tell you what, they don't do nothing wrong. They're stand-up citizens in the public.
They are
too.
our nation's heroes.
Yeah.
So he was on duty. So Brian,
if you see a firefighter right now, please salute them for a job well done. I mean, they're in the shit every week in and week out, just in the shit, fighting fires. So just thank you guys very much for doing what you guys do day in and day out.
So he was missing the game. So they were definitely without a couple of their key players. They managed to pull out the win. Jiminy Kick It, or Just Kicking It. I caught a little bit of the game. They ran into a few outs. They were being pretty aggressive. But I think that's a team that's up and down. But when they're on, they're gonna hang with most teams in the league.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And now one of the fan favorites that we got around here, Burning Bridges against the Jagernauts. Man, we talked about this game last week, and it's always difficult to pick against our people on the Mick Jaggernauts, as Nat would call them. This was a tight one going to the Bridges, and indeed it was. Bridges ended up, barely narrowing out the victory 4-3. I'm kind of going to reserve my comments here. I don't want to get attacked from, my right side. But, if you want to go ahead, I can be your buffer and kind of protect you from anybody if you want to say some things.
The Jagernauts, they're a team that typically, they're a veteran team, a lot of consistency, not a lot of roster turnover from year to year. But with that consistency and veteran leadership, they typically don't beat themselves. However, in this game, from what I understand, they actually were in a good position to win, going 3-1 up in the 4th inning, and then they gave up that lead. Burning bridges, just too talented overall, and they find a way to win these close ones. So.
And I wasn't able to catch that game. We had Caps Game 7 against the Boston Bruins, so I had to be at the bar for that one. What could you allude to that breakdown going down, in that 4th inning to give up that lead?
Laziness, unathleticness,
Jesus.
Apathy, whatever.
Maybe just an off week or something. We talked about it before. Jesus Christ. Drink all your beer before you throw a can. That's a waste of booze.
I'm going to pull a Stephanie Tanner and say, how rude.
Man.
It's Michelle.
But,
Michelle.
that's a game that we had the playoffs, beforehand. There was a good showing amongst both teams, so we knew this was going to be close. Jager's had a couple of close ones these weeks past, so let's hope, for our sake, that they can get it together next week.
Yeah, Bridges and Jager, that's going to be, this is the 2nd straight time they've played, and they've been close. It's a rivalry in the making.
A new rivalry brewing, and we always love the new rivalries. It gives us something to talk about week in and week out.
Cool.